Thank you very much for attending to this PyAnsys EMEA training session. So just to confirm, everyone is seeing my screen. So I'm gonna start right away. We have quite a lot of content that we want to squeeze in these 90 minutes. So let's start. Okay, so little summary about what we're going to see today. I'm going to tell you what to expect from this training over the next 6 weeks. I'm going to give an overview about what is PyAnsys. I will tell you the PyAnsys resources that are available to you, and we're going to continue this intro with an explanation of some of the main PyAnsys modules done by our subject matter experts. So we'll see an overview of PyEMEA PDL mechanical, an overview of PyFluent, PyADT, and PyDPF. So first, we don't have time to kind of introduce everyone, but I wanted to mention all the subject matter experts that are going to be kind of with you delivering these sessions, both the online and the on-site session in Lyon. So in bold, you're going to see the speakers for today's session. So we are going to have from PyFluent, Pablo Aguado and Dario Amadori. From PyADT, Julia Maliverno and Samuel Lopez. From PyEMEA PDL Mechanical, Pierre Thierry and Herman Martinez. PyDPF will come with Ramdam Laga, Paul Profisi and Oscar Moro. And from PyAnsys Development Core team, we'll have a Maxime Ray, Roberto Pastor, Jorge Martinez and Alex Fernandez. And for PyAnsys Product Management, myself, David Rivera. So what to expect from this training? First, I guess you've seen this landing page, many of you, otherwise you've seen the same info in some email. So to say that this training is divided in 2 blocks, 3 online sessions. Today is the first one, the introduction one, 3 90-minute online sessions. So today will be an introduction. We will finish this presentation and we'll send a form with your questions, any questions that you might have from this presentation, because we're not going to have many time for Q&A, or anything related to PyAnsys. We're going to analyze it this week with our subject matter expert, and we're going to address them over the next week with our next Q&A session. So the third session will be focused on example and use cases. And then after this first block, we will have the on-site workshop 2 days in Lyon, where we will be meeting all our subject matter experts in I think, unique opportunity to help you out with your projects and your ideas. So many of you have already signed up. I think like you've already worked on the logistics, but we have some free slots, so you are still on time over this month. I will be sharing this link again, so you can revisit the link or reach out to me directly if you want to participate on the workshop in Lyon face-to-face. So having said this, what you should expect from this training? So we want you to getting to know the potential of PyAnsys and how and where PyAnsys could be used. We're going to give you an overview of PyAnsys main features, products, and use cases. And we want you as well to learn about PyAnsys support resources and how you can get more proficient on PyAnsys. As well, important, what not to expect. So finalize the training having high PyAnsys programming skills or learning scripting. Even though we wanted to do it, I think we'll be too ambitious. There's only 3 90-minute sessions, so we wouldn't achieve that goal. And what important as well, what we expect. So we expect to explain you all the possibilities and potential of PyAnsys. We expect to answer all your key questions that you might have around PyAnsys. We want to inspire you to start implementing improvements to your current workflows and build new solutions with PyAnsys. And eventually end up having high PyAnsys programming skills. So, what is PyAnsys? First, kind of one step back, and I want to explain what is open source. So the difference between projects and products. So projects. A project is software that is shared with a community of developers for the purpose of extending and improving the software beyond what will be capable in a normal in-house product development. It is governed by the community and can be as extensive or minimal as desired. The PyAnsys libraries are projects. This is very important. Whereas closed source products are meet customer expectation of value for money. They install out of the box, run consistently, and come with guarantees, services, and full documentation. A product might be services or hardware built around a project. The software and solution that Ansys and our partners build are products. So open source is a software project whose source code has been made available to the public for the purposes of use, improvement, and distribution, allowing for anyone to clone, modify, or extend the software for their own needs with an expectation, but not a requirement, but this is important, that they will commit those changes back, and this way improve the project for all users. So PyAnsys is an open source. And because PyAnsys is not a product, we don't own it, and we don't support it as an Ansys product. However, we have significant influence over its development, but we don't control it as a product. So PyAnsys is the equivalent of handing someone a box of Legos and very basic instructions versus a complete model. You can build a mobile eventually if you do it and get proficient, which will be a product. I think this is a good analogy. So you might have guessed, PyAnsys is an acronym coined by combining Python and Ansys. Python is the world's most popular programming language. So the latest stats that I saw said that 30% of developers program in Python worldwide, which is quite impressive. And the Python ecosystem contains a high amount of open source code libraries that developers can freely use to create new solutions. So if I come to this slide, I say PyAnsys is a set of technologies that allows the user to interface with Ansys products Pythonically. So what is Pythonic? It's an adjective that means writing code in a way that is idiomatic, clear, and efficient, and that takes full advantage of Python language features and conventions. So the PyAnsys project exposes Ansys technologies in client libraries within the Python ecosystem. Its library provides clear, concise, and maintainable APIs. So something that you might be more familiar with, which is product scripting. So product scripting was a way for engineers to script repetitive tasks in their product. It's great for that product. It's elusive when working across products. Pretty sure like you face these challenges because every product has their own proprietary language. So by adding PyAnsys layer onto the product scripting languages, we remove one obstacle to effective single script environments with multiple products. It's not easier, but it's now possible in a more streamlined way. So the PyAnsys ecosystem refines the component level interaction with Ansys solvers and tools. It also eliminates the inconsistent and restrictive scripting environments found within product installations. So PyAnsys provides a single scripting language, better multi-product scripting, and required developer skills. So what is it good for in a very summarized way? One, eliminate manual bottlenecks for repetitive simulations. So run more simulation faster. So you have to code all the script to do it, but it's absolutely possible to use PyAnsys script to run 10 or even 100x the simulation through, say, ADT using a script than using the user interface. Point 2, enable integration between Ansys products and a vast ecosystem of third-party tools like artificial intelligence or machine learning. This is a key differentiator amongst our competitors. And because we are open source, we give the customer more direct control over the scripting tools themselves. And third point, code your own simulation interaction with new solutions and applications. So if you are willing to do the work yourself and build it all your own, you can literally have any kind of simulation interaction that you want. So PyAnsys is a technology meant to extend the Ansys physics stack to a much wider audience, unleashing the power of digital engineering. So now some KPIs. So we have more than 400 customers. Here we have a little disclaimer. So this number is based on our engagement with users that we have in the developer portal, which I'm going to talk over the next slide, which means that this number must be much higher. So we are pretty certain that there are customers that they haven't engaged with that over the official channels. So this number must be much more important. We have 100 total release projects at the moment, and this is very dynamic. So if I present you again in 3 months, all these numbers have grown 100%. Total downloads, PyAnsys project since the beginning is 4.5 million, with 1.13 million over the last quarter, and more than 350,000 over the last month. So PyAnsys downloads are now part of some customer implementation processes. So meaning that PyAnsys is starting to be a key component over client developments. So last bit of this intro, PyAnsys support resources. So we build a portal for our developer community, and we have a very active forum. So you don't need to write down these URLs. We'll be sharing these slides, so you will have the direct links. You want to access to all these resources. Just a few stats: more than 15,000 user visits per month, more than 450 customer partner members from over 200 organizations. And we answer more than 250 questions per month. I want to thank here, we have our SMEs in this presentation. They are kind of a core part of this interaction and these answers. So I want to thank you for the great work again. And then last one, some resources that you might be more familiar with. You can find PyAnsys courses in Ansys Innovation Space and Ansys Learning Hub. And you can find all the documentation as well of PyAnsys library well documented in GitHub. So I'll be sharing these links again. So all the current libraries and the future libraries are all well documented by our teams. With this, I finished the introduction. Probably we'll have some minutes for Q&A, but as I mentioned at the beginning, remember that at the end, we will be sending a form where you can submit all your questions about PyAnsys. We'll be addressing them lengthily in our next session. So with this, I pass on to Herman, which is going to give an introduction about PyAMA, PDL, and mechanical.